Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel based on the top 10 sayings of what not to say to an Aspie. As you were fully aware that I was sharing just the quotes that is commonly said by a normal person or neurotypical person in everyday situations that I come and face. Pretty much, as I said, that sometimes we need to create an awareness and understanding. So hopefully in this part on my opinions based on these top 10 common sayings, that won't cause any disagreements or what have you, just more mutual understanding between us both as you walk my shoes. Right, to begin, number 1. We all feel like you, and we do get overwhelmed in any given time, situation or place that we face. My advice, or shall we say my thoughts on this, yes, I agree wholeheartedly that we all do get overwhelmed in any everyday situation, regardless what it may be that we're facing at that moment of time. But yet with a female that has AS, like me, there is a huge difference that we experience at this moment of time. We see different situations, as I said in one of my videos, in a different magnified level. Which means, for example, imagine looking at the field of a green grass with a naked eye versus looking at the eye of a microscope or a looking glass. You'll see a lot more when things are magnified, however, as an Aspie will experience and encounter. Most things can be more interesting than others, however, of what we see through that naked eye versus the viewing of the microscope. As we know that the microscope, pretty much when we look into it, obviously look into finer details, and sometimes maybe more in depth, so to speak. If you're overwhelmed in an everyday situation, however, just remember what it will actually feel like for us Aspies in a magnified level, on what we go through, be in our shoes for the day, so to speak, that we both can accept this together and appreciate our differences no matter what, or even our similarities together to make it a fun and crazy world together. Number 2, maybe if you're not too emotional, crazy, or all over the place all the time, have you ever tried to be more consistent in how you feel and act in the everyday situations that you face? My thoughts and opinions on this. Yes, I have thought of being more consistent to a point, yet you normal neurotypical people need to remember this. For an Aspie, females mind is black and white, as I said before. Sometimes it's either that it has to be this way or that way, meaning that some situations that we face has to be done a certain way. But with me, I am trying to change that aspect of that look. And as I said in one of my other video channels, that pretty much that I'm trying to look beyond that situation and actually think of other possible solutions of that problem that I face. In other words, some Aspie females, like sometimes me, if I do change it again, pretty much, it's all or nothing. There's no in between, however. Sometimes we look further more into it than we should sometimes. Like I said in my last channel, many people have realized I overanalyze things to a point that, yes, my head does hurt when I overanalyze. But it's a good head hurt because I know that obviously in my gut instincts I am going about how I feel and what I feel at that given moment of time, judging by my gut instinct of what I'm facing pretty much of any given situation. Some Aspie females, however, has late emotional development in the way of their feelings and emotions. Yes, we get overwhelmed, as said in number 1. Due to our sensory and emotional input, which we do show these emotions later on, however, when we recharge our batteries of the social energy battery that I have told you guys in my previous video or some videos over based on this. And we have, us Aspies, however, we need a 50-50 balance way of how to cope with our emotions, how to, so to speak. Sometimes with some of our SBs, some of us SBs, some of our feelings, we have to put our feelings aside, like I do, pretty much, and as I said before in my last video about me, that I obviously have a mask and I split it in two. And whenever another event that comes up, despite those feelings and emotions that has been pushed aside, however, they run on a high scale of emotions. And with the normal neurotypical person, they would sometimes get confused or frustrated with me to a point that maybe will cause disagreement, arguments, and the like. I have experienced this so many times when I have been with people in my walks of life. I will say this now. Yet us Aspies tend to know how to deal and pinpoint our emotions to the point where we need to sit down, think, breathe, meditate, and come back to reality after that particular moment of social event that we've been through that made us overwhelmed in the first place. Number 3, maybe you just need to go out more, socialise more, and have fun. Yes, I've heard this time and time again. My opinion on this, as I said, I agree. To a point, however, though. I'll admit, to a point, however. As for us as bees, we would need to, yet sometimes, as I said, with the world around us, that when it becomes too overwhelming, however, we need to have time out, as I said in one of my other videos, on our own to regenerate our batteries, pretty much, as well as our energy. Plus having our own time out for ourselves. I agree that some situations I have faced has become overwhelming for me, regardless what it is, as I said, that can leave many of us confused, tired, and some other mixed emotions, and that social energy tank. Pretty much like with me, however, obviously how I go about my overwhelming situations, as I said in my last video, pretty much I'll take a step back, count to 1 to 10, breathe, imagine I'm somewhere, calm and peaceful, be it if I'm walking in the forest or on a beach with seagulls flying over me, sort of thing, just a quiet meditation process, and then hopefully within that 5 minutes, shall we say, when I give myself time out, I can face back to reality and actually go back to where I was when I was confused or frustrated, whatever the case may be. Yet we need to make the effort to go out, I agree, okay, and do things even if we do decide to go out. However, some of you guys, normal people, need to accept us that if we're pretty much on the empty, we'll just push ourselves regardless and actually socialize with you. So as I said before, the social energy tank. Okay, now I'm going to bring this definition to you in this video of what I'm talking about, the social energy tank. Because I'm hearing you a lot maybe thinking, come on Karen, we need the definition of what you're talking about. So here goes, okay. Social energy tank is defined as the amount of an everyday work or task that it is in an emotional or a mental state that requires effort from these two states for us SBs to do normal everyday tasks in life that you all guys do every day and may take for granted. Number 4, can't you try harder and challenge yourself a bit more in your everyday situations that you may face? My opinion, yes, we could do this, but this will create stress and strain in everything that we do. Hence, what a number. And will let us to burn out on else, pretty much. And for me, when I push myself hard, I obviously, get tired, burned out, and to a point that I might end up into my meltdown, depression level of status. But also, however, bear in mind, when us SBs push ourselves to that extent of any given moment or situation, it leads down to meltdowns and shutdowns. More on that later, however. It will help us SBs if you can help us more by taking us and having one-on-one sessions, maybe, you know, which is a place we like and are familiar in our surroundings. And what we like doing is an everyday activity on a scheduled period of time. Hence what I said before, that I'm on a ritual and routine basis. Number 5, maybe you should try to wear different clothes or makeup every day. Okay, yes, my opinion, some of us as females, as bees, maybe are comfortable in our everyday clothes, as I said in one of my videos. Just need to accept us for who and what we wear. Sometimes we are quite specific of what we wear and how we wear it. Sometimes some of us are obviously not dressed for the occasion, given it, be it a party or a work event or movies or maybe a dinner date if I had a, you know, partner or whoever that's in my life, you know, so to speak. But sometimes some Aspies do struggle and have difficulties pretty much for that occasion, to dress up for that occasion, so to speak. And sometimes we misread this or misunderstand that sometimes there is a social status quo, pretty much how we should be dressing and thinking and acting while we're in that kind of social dress makeup warrior. Because to me, pretty much when you dress up to an occasion, obviously it displays a status or a title of within ourselves of a position that means to us of what we play in the part of today's society in that role. Yet again, for us as bees, it can be overwhelming and exhausting all in one if we do try to, as said, blend in and fit in. And then I question you viewers this: why should I dress to impress you guys, so to speak, to make you guys happy and all that? Yes, sometimes I'll admit I've been in the last few times dressed to impress, and the more I do it, the more tiring it goes, the more overwhelming it goes, because obviously, you know, many people have told me that I should be, you know, wearing short skirts, be it if it's short skirts, tight tops, you know, to show out my younger youth beauty, what have you. But as I said, more on self-confidence and self-image later on, so to speak. But at the end of the day, as I'm going to say this, I am comfortable for what I'm wearing right now in this video. As I said, take me or leave me, accept me for who I am and what I am. If you can't accept me for who I am and what I am and in my dress code, as the saying I've been saying to myself, or as you guys may say to me, excuse me, fuck off and leave me alone. So pretty much I'm trying to say it nicely to you, you know, in the way of speak. Okay, number 6. Here we go. Oh, Asperger's syndrome. Yeah, I know all about that. I have a friend that has Asperger's syndrome. Okay, well, to me, that is brilliant, wonderful, awesome. The more you know about this and how you go about the Asperger's syndrome, or AS, this should hopefully create a better understanding and awareness between you and I. As I said before, walking in each other's shoes, understanding each other, meeting up with the needs of each other despite our different worlds. But like with the neurotypical, or shall we say, I'll abbreviate NTs, us Asbies are different and unique individuals. And we each have our own given habits and traits, routines, rituals, structures, and the like. So rather immediately judge us and assume that we're all the same, I'll say it again, if we're all the same, how about take the time to get to know us first, and you'll probably be surprised to what we can do and offer for you lot. 7. Can't you let go for once and have fun, just so that you can become a human for a bit and enjoy the party? Excuse me, sorry about that. Have fun at the party and let loose. Yes, I agree, we should live once. We are all humans, we all make mistakes. But I'll say this, okay, don't you ever fully understand pretty much that I am differently wired to a point that I have a strict routine and structure in place. And this, however, does take a great deal to step out of routine to join you guys. As said before, I have come to a point now I am pushing myself to socialize with others around me, pretty much regardless if it's one-on-one or as in a group. But as I said before, it does get tiring and exhausting, and I need time out for myself. I'm not being, as I said before, I'm not being selfish or rude or anything, but this is who I am. However, yes, I'll do a great deal of my best to my ability, however, to socialise with you all, just to keep you happy and whatnot. But at the end of the day, maybe not just to keep you happy, but maybe hopefully, as I said in the last number 6, hopefully maybe to create a better understanding ground of who and what I am. Yet, however, be warned. Treat me with caution, however, sometimes. Okay, I may be fragile in that. Just, handle me with care, as I've had that label for a while after being diagnosed with AS. There will be a time that I will have a level of anxiety issues, or shall we say anxiety level. As I said before, I do suffer from anxiety attacks and what have you. Yet I am, as I said, doing my best to my ability to become flexible around your guys' schedules and what have you, between you and I. Yet it takes time, understanding and patience between us and more. Number 8. Well, since you are quiet, I'll just leave you alone then. My opinion is, yes, I may be quiet and keeping to myself. As said before in my introduction, I've been keeping to myself for a while, so to speak. We may look quiet, yet sometimes this is based on the passive aggressiveness in an Aspie. Okay, we all have that passive aggressiveness in some of us. I don't know if it's like this for an NT or normal person around me, but I'll admit that it's part of me, passive aggressiveness. Yet sometimes with this passive aggressiveness, however, we can't deal with it within any moment of time. We Aspies, however, tend to observe our surroundings and observe who we're dealing with at the moment in time in a bigger picture. Hence, as I said before, sensory overload, the way my thinking patterns are, but more on that later, of my picture planning. Plus, however, with the passive aggressiveness, is really a message to you normal people that this comes to a secondary message that I want to come across to you. Sometimes this message is hidden, okay, but I'll bring it out to you. Hopefully this will make sense. The saying I have most likely have said to myself time and again are my thoughts, as well as what I've been hearing also. Say what you mean and mean what you say. I have been saying what I mean and what I say, but sometimes I go about, as I said in one of my other videos, the wrong way. Because obviously I have offended or been labelled as rude, abrupt, and what the like. But sometimes also I want to say to you viewers, pretty much also, that goes back to you. Say what you mean what you say. But be warned, be careful. This can backfire on both of us. As I said before, the reason being for this is us Aspie females, however, are too brutally honest. I'm one of them. Sometimes we don't like to lie, but sometimes we'll make a little white lie to just keep in the loop of being satisfied on it. As said before, well, not all perfect. Anyway, continue on. Number 9, you sometimes would understand better if you were more empathetic. Okay, you may have heard in my last channel about empathy, that pretty much, yes, us Aspies can be empathetic people. Me forever, yes, I am empathetic because I have grown up to learn to accept different people from all race, gender, age, conditions, and the like. Okay, I'll say this. Hello, us female Aspies are empathetic, more than you realise. We do feel strongly and deeply, shall we say, reword this, we feel strongly and deeply in the situation that we're in, that we face. Some of us, however, may choose to ignore, or the other option we do, to face these challenges. We show empathy, however, in our own unique way, even if it's not the right way towards you all. We would like you to explain your habits to us, however, and why you do them, of your certain habits and traits of whatnot, pretty much, to understand you more. Okay, so therefore, in other words, we'll do that to you, like how we go about our everyday force of habits, how we act, speak, or think. So it's like a give and take. Okay, so pretty much if we give you the option of telling you how we go about it, maybe you can do it, so we can create, as again, an understanding, a meet in the middle, hopefully. Because to me, communication is important. Sometimes, however, I'll admit this in my book, we Aspies tend to feel like an alien that's living or speaking in a foreign language, and we're on a different planet. Okay? Yet, again, this will hopefully create a better understanding despite the differences. And maybe we can be appreciated differently, and that despite it, we can, see it in a different light of every in our lives of what we go through and face. Last not least, number 10. But you look so normal. I'll say this. I'm sorry, everyone, that I have to say this again. Yes, I've heard what you said, yet I don't know and realise that there's a dress code for AS. For now. If there was, I must have misread this when I got the invitation to an AS party. Or Aspie party, I should say. Again, you need to be aware that pretty much you normal people, that us Aspie girls or Aspie woman, for however I'm a woman, I should say, we have a strong shape-shifting ability. Okay? This means that this will allow us and give us the time to act normal around you for a given moment of time or period. Or short period of time, however, I should say. My mistake. Although, as said, in certain situations, however, we may face, it will drain us and obviously overwhelm us. And my advice to you all, spend a longer period of time with us Aspies, and you'll notice our quirking ways, and you might actually enjoy being with us. As I said, having AS is not all doom and gloom, even though it may be a part of me, but everyone has their, faults and whatnot. On the end note, I'll repeat this as from my last channel. AS doesn't have a face, dress code or style, or even a unified way, and how we should act, speak or think. Despite it all, it is something that is unique for us Aspies, and it all is worth discovering and learning together for us all. That concludes my channel. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys soon.